In this video, I'm going to walk you through the different layouts and how to navigate between them. So after we tap on the Agree button on the Permissions layout, we're taken to the Count Map layout. The Count Map layout is a global perspective of the students in the solution and the active goals. Up here at the top, we see that there are 5 total students right now in the solution, but only 4 of those students have active goals. Down in the main body of the count map, we have total of 9 active goals, and we can see that 3 of those active goals are in reading, 1 is in math, 2 is in writing, and 3 are in behavior. We also have the different strands for each subject, and we can see how many active goals there are in those areas as well. I also want to point out these 3 icons up here. There's the search icon, the help icon, and the PDF icon. I'm going to just tap on the help icon to take you there really quick. I just want to show you that there is a help section, and there are 3 sections to this help layout. There's the getting started, icons and buttons, and frequently asked questions. Just to take a look at those so you can see there's some helpful hints, shows you what the icons mean and what they do, and it maybe answers a couple of questions. So I'm going to tap on the Count Map button up here at the top to take us back to the count map. Now all of these white buttons, there are buttons, but they also show us some information. And up here I'm going to show you, when we click on any of these white buttons, it's going to take us to the student list layout. So I'm going to show you a couple of things here really quick. First off, I'm going to click on this total students button to take you there. And this is the student list layout. What happens is that it shows you how many students are in basically in the find that you just did. We wanted to show all students, so it shows us the total number here. There's the PDF icon, the help icon again, the search icon, and this one is for adding students. There's also the show all and the count map. I'm going to take you back to the count map really quick. Boom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to click on this behavior. This is just a reminder that the numbers in these buttons show us the number of active plans, not the number of students with those plans. So I'm going to click on this behavior button, and we'll see that there's actually only 1 student with all 3 of those active goals. But I want to, for our demonstration here, I'm going to say let's show all. So I'm going to click on that show all button, and that will show us all the students in the solution. Now for each student, we see there's a form icon and a delete icon. We have fields for student ID, first name, last name, the student's grade, and the student's teacher. And it also shows us a snapshot of their goal, their current active goals. So this student has 1 in reading, 1 in math, 1 in writing, and none in behavior. When we click on this form icon, I'm going to go ahead and choose this top student. When I click on the form icon, that will take us to the student information page. The student information layout gives us the student's current academic information, and then there's 2 lists. There's the lists of current goals and a list of completed goals. There's also a PDF button for each of these lists. In the current goals list, we have a form button, which will take us to this goal, and we also have delete buttons if we want to delete the goal. I'm going to go ahead and tap on this top form icon. This takes us to the goal plan. Again, now what has happened is that all of the students' current academic information is brought over onto this plan. We see the standard that is linked to this grade level, the subject, the strand, and the skill. That brings up the Common Core State Standard. There is also a goal that is then connected to this standard, and then there's fields also for interventions and for PLAF or comments. Either way. Up at the top here we have buttons for objectives, information, and student list. This info button, I'm going to tap on that. It just takes us back to that student information page. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, go back to the goal plan. I wanted to point out that the goal right now is just a basic kind of skeleton of the goal. When we click on this chart button, it takes us to the chart layout. And the goal is brought over, but what has happened is that as we fill in these different fields, the information we fill in populates the goal, so we get to see what the final goal is going to look like with all of the information. We have given, the baseline information, target information, the duration of the plan. We also have progress monitoring tool, how often we're going to use that progress monitoring tool. We have the chart, and we have these different fields for entering the scores as you are monitoring the student's progress. One thing I want to show you is that there's also this chart min and chart max. That's if you want to change the values that are shown on the chart. Sometimes you don't need 0 through 100. Sometimes you need 50 to 200. Sometimes you need 0 to 5. You can change these to any values that you want. I'm going to click on this back button really quick, and what that does is it just takes us back to the goal plan. Now I jumped over really quickly up here this objectives button. This objectives button is both on this goal plan layout and on the chart layout. I'm going to go ahead and click on that objectives button, and what that does is it takes us to the goal and objectives layout. Now what happens is that the plan you just made, here's that plan is, I'm going to go click on that, takes us right back to that plan, and I'm going to click on the objectives, take us back to the objectives. What has happened is that the goal that we just made, the plan that we just made for that goal, is pasted in here, showed up here. And now, similarly, we can create objectives. So these are short-term objectives, so I'm going to, it shows us the start date and what the skill is. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that form for that one. This looks similar to our goal plan. This is our objective plan. So again, the student's current academic information is there. The goal that we created is brought over. And again, we see an objective, the skeleton of an objective, which again is based on this skill, subject, and strand. The objectives, though, for the objectives, our goal basically for the objectives is not linked to grade. The goal is linked to the grade level standards, but the objective, there's no standard, it's just the objective. This is the structure that we get from, that's built from the standard, but it's not grade specific, it's not grade dependent. So again, we have a field for what our interventions are going to be, and comments. You can do PLAFs along the way too there too. So I'm going to go over to the chart button, and you can see that this one is a little different. It looks a little different. Objectives are meant to be short term, so I've created this so that it's up to 9 weeks, and really otherwise it looks pretty similar. There's the chart min, chart max. There's all the same fields that we had before. So I'm going to go ahead and click back on the goal. That brings us back to the goal and objectives. We can see we can build as many objectives we want to meet that goal. I'm going to click on the plan. To me, it feels like you're kind of getting a loop right here. So if I want to get out of this loop, I'm going to go back to the student list. And since we were just working with this one student, it just shows us that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the show all really quick. And again, it shows us all the students. So that's the basic structure, the layouts, and how to navigate around. Play with it. You can pose questions. If you have any questions, then I'll answer that. I hope this helps.